So the Steam Deck has been out for about 3 years now, and if there is one thing that you want to take away from this video is I regret not getting it any sooner. So I got this Steam Deck OLED 1TB version about a couple months back, and I have been absolutely loving it. If you saw my last video, that was on plugins for Steam OS, and now I have been inside out through this console. And a controversial opinion, but I would say this is one of the best PC handheld gaming experiences that you can own. If you're anything like me and you've got a full daytime job, it's really hard to get the time out to play some video games. So if you have a job, you have kids, and you don't get the time to set on a proper desk setup and play video games, then just having a Steam Deck, or I would say any handheld gaming console, is the way to go. And it's not like it's my first handheld console. I've owned an ROG Ally in the past, but Windows absolutely kills the experience, and I would say not having to deal with Windows is the biggest win for Steam Deck and Steam OS in general. I love how minimal the UI is, there are no distractions, and it just works. Even though the Ally is more powerful spec-wise, but I would say in overall experience, Steam Deck is much better of any other like Windows handheld console. And I would say another reason to get this over any other handheld like Nintendo Switch 2 is the ability to emulate older games, and technically you have the power of 5 to 6 consoles in the palm of your hand.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
So whatever small shortcomings were there in the LCD variant, with the refresh of the OLED version, it just made it so much better. And talking about that screen, it has HDR, it has true blacks, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Even though the resolution isn't super high, but I would say it is a very good balance for the APU it has and the performance that you can get for this screen. It has great pixel density, and that HDR in the supported titles just looks breathtaking. And as I mentioned earlier, this doesn't have the latest and greatest of the hardware, but the overall ergonomics, the button layout, and having that haptic touchpad to use as a mouse is just a cherry on top. And even though it's a little on the bigger side, I would still say that the ergonomics are much better than as of like Nintendo Switch 2. The grips and the back pedals are really great, and I generally have this with a case on it, which is just a D brand kill switch in case you were wondering. And yeah, that's the X-ray skin on the top. And as I said, the screen isn't super high res in comparison to the competition out there like having 1080p or a Quad HD display. This on the other hand helps it to have great battery life. If you're like me and you're not running like AAA titles when you're away from the wall, just doing the casual emulation or just playing some indie games, this can easily last you up to like 8 to 9 hours, which I would say is the best for the PC handheld market. Since it only goes up till like 15 TDP of power draw, that helps in getting that amazing battery life. And talking about that, the standby time is also really good, and the quick resume is just a lifesaver. The UI is so clean, so customizable with all those plugins that I mentioned in my last video. It's literally no BS, and you can just straight up jump into the game that you want to play. And that says a lot when you don't have a lot of time on your hand. And another thing that is really nice to do with this is cloud streaming. And that also gives you insane battery life as you're not running the games on the device itself. So if you have a decent gaming PC in your house, you can just use Steam Link and stream all the games on the Steam Deck from your gaming PC, having that smooth performance, insane battery life, and that's one of the main reasons I use this. And even if you don't have a PC and you have Xbox Game Pass, you can use the Xbox Cloud Gaming app, which does require a couple of extra steps like installing Edge, but once you get going, it works like a charm. The AMD APU it has still has like solid performance, even though you can't get like 60 FPS on like major titles, but at that point I would say it's better to play either on a PC or a proper like console. It has just improved in every term from the LCD variant, and I would say all the research that Valve has done over the past years has amalgamated into this one console, having that amazing touchpad, the ergonomics, and a massive Steam library to choose from. And I also really love that the Steam Store has a separate tab for the games that run great on the deck. And having the Steam Store and all those amazing Steam sales is the reason you need to get a deck. And if you still don't have money to buy games, just add people in your family sharing library, and you don't have to pay like 80 bucks a game. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. And as I mentioned, I have that 1TB version, so it has that anti-glare edged glass on the front, which reduces all the reflections. So super great to use outdoors. And even after 3 years, I would still say it is one of the best tech purchases that I've ever done. Helps me get through all of my backlog. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Let me know if I missed out on any point. You can tell me in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content, and maybe drop me a follow on Instagram for my short form stuff. And that's all, folks. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.